working on right now is completing couple of films. I'm done with Pisasa 2, finally. Done with the dubbing, everything. Wrapped the film. Really happy and grateful with the way it's turned out. Definitely going to be an important film in my career. And Miskin sir, of course, is a very unique filmmaker to work with. His film language is really, really special. Um, he knows, he's very clear about what he wants. So some people might find him difficult to work with for those reasons. But for me, I really respect people who know what they want, and I have no issues, really going out of my way to bring my director's vision to life as much as I can, you know. So that's I like challenges, and Pisasa 2 was definitely a challenge. But like I said, and also a huge um, I think for me, I'm at a stage in my life where the films that I do or the films that come to me are somehow also a part of my own personal evolution. And that's a very magical journey for me as an actor, because it's no longer just about call sheets and, paychecks and having this many releases in a year. It's about how the film is contributing to my growth as a person. And that for me is the most exciting thing about my career right now, that all the films I'm doing are having, or at least most of the films I'm doing are having that kind of an impact on me. For me, that's the most special thing about being an actor right now. Yeah, I guess that can't really avoid that question. Okay. It's a funny story, to be honest. I was shooting, and DSP, who's a really, I mean, I've pretty much, he's been around since the start of my career. One of my first ever recordings was for DSP in Telugu. So, he's like a buddy, and I really love the guy. He's such a nice guy. So he calls me, and he calls me Andrew because when we recorded Who's the Hero, I was like, you're making me sound like a man. So he calls me Andrew from then. So he's like, hey Andrew, where are you? I was like, I'm shooting. He's like, can you come now? So I was like, what, really? And I'm that kind of person. I'm kind of lazy, maybe. I don't like to mix my shoot and recordings. And I'm like, I like to do everything at my own pace. But he's like, no, 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 it has to be done today. You have to come, please, 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 please. So I was like, fine. And it was really pouring that day. So we had to like go in this deluge of water to his studio. And then he played me the Telugu song. And I was like, oh, I can't sing that. No, 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 no. I'm not singing this song. But I was literally like begging. I was like, it's a great song, but please don't make me sing. I cannot sing this song. Please, 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 please. And we argued, and he begged and pleaded, and he just refused to take no for an answer. He's like, just try, please, please, please. So I mean, I think the Telugu singer has sung it fantastically well. But for me, that kind of folk expression and all, it's not natural to me. So I was like, I'm going to flatline the song and just sing it in a very plain, husky tone and just keep it mostly expressionless, like, just focus on the tone more than anything. And he loved it. I was like, what is this? You're making me sing this, Bigaru, please. And he's like, you just wait and see. You just wait and see. So now he's like, see, I told you, you always listen to me. But yeah, most of my hit songs end up being songs that I feel like, no, I don't sound good on this song. No, 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 I don't like the way I sound. What is this, that? And people end up liking those songs. And also, I guess the lyrics have had a huge role to play in that. And it's a great composition by DSP. Definitely. Earworm, complete earworm. Childhood, ever since I can remember. I've been singing since I was a kid. So it's second nature. And being a being raised in a Roman Catholic family, singing in the church choir was also a thing that we used to do. Went to a convent school, so singing in the school choir. So, my whole childhood was all about singing, singing, singing. And I keep joking around with people also, I'm one of those people who I can not sing for a really long time. And then suddenly we have a show or a performance. And then I'm like, okay. And boom, I'm ready to go. So I guess it kind of just naturally and organically deviated into songwriting, because what is a song? It's a poem with a tune, right? And it's a great way of self-expression. Like the other day, someone was talking about journaling, and I was like, and they were like, so do you journal? And I said, no, I write songs. So maybe it's a great way of self-expression as a songwriter when you write. And I'm, I guess, happy and blessed that all the things I do are kind of, you know interwoven: acting or singing or writing. It's all beautiful expressions of the same kind of energy, which is great. I don't So when I'm writing a song, for me it's very rarely about, I don't lay out a structure. It comes from a feeling. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but luckily, since I have the luxury of making music just for the sole purpose of expressing myself, I can do whatever the hell I want. If I were a film composer, for instance, those rules would apply. I would have to, stick to, this is the kind of thing I need to do. This is the vibe. But when you're just writing songs as a way of self-expression, none of those rules apply really. So it comes from a feeling, to be honest. Most of my songs come from a feeling. All of them, actually. No. So what I do is I write the song, and then when you write a song, you of course you have an idea of what it ought to sound like, and then we jam as a band. I have the best bunch of musicians ever: Andrea Jeremiah, Leon James, drummer David Joseph, and Kishore, Naveen. They're all fantastic musicians. So we just get in the practice pad and we jam. And even if I give them like the slightest idea, saying, hey, you know what, I think we should go in this direction, they take it and they amplify it to another level. And sometimes they take it in a whole other direction as well, So it's a very organic way that it happens. And we do have an album coming out, hopefully in the first half of 2022. It has an interesting story because we recorded it during the lockdown, because that's the only time the guys were free. And it was recorded, mixed and mastered during the lockdown. It got ready just around August this year. So we're going to release it next year soon. My personal sense of style, honestly, I don't follow trends. I go with what's classic. I go with what looks good on me and flatters my body type. I think that's very important. And for me, less is more always. I like clean, simple cuts, and not so many frills and, except when I'm on stage, then I go all out and bling it, because, you have to do that. But on a day-to-day basis, comfort, most definitely. When I'm on stage or when I'm at an event, I like to feel like a little bit of a diva. So, you dress up. But in real life, I really don't bother dressing up much. And I find it hard to give away. The things I find hardest to give away are all my old t-shirts where they have little holes in them, and I'm so attached to them. So when I clean my cupboard out, whenever I do my wardrobe cleaning, I can easily give away the fancy clothes that I've worn on stage or to events once or twice. I'm like, yeah, this can go, that can go. But the t-shirts with the holes in them, they stay. And that's basically it. He is definitely a lovely designer. He's worked with me on Pisasa too and done a fabulous job, I might add. You guys will see soon enough when you see the film. I have all kinds of everything when it comes to looks. And of course, he's a good friend as well. And I also work with Amrita Ram a lot. She's a great like firebrand of a person, really the most amount of enthusiasm I've ever seen on a human being comes from her. Very hardworking, and she worked with me on Vada Chennai, which was again a completely different look for me, and I think she totally nailed it. So I tend to work most with these two people. Not really. I think when I was younger, I used to do a lot of these yo-yo diets, which, a lot of young girls fall prey to and doesn't really help you in any way. But I mean, I'm talking about when I was like in high school and, when that body awareness starts happening. But around 10 years ago, someone introduced me to the concept of training, going to the gym, not to just run on the treadmill or do EFX, but to work out with weights. And that has made all the difference in my life because when you work out with weights, you have to eat. You can't not eat. It's the number one rule is you have to eat well if you want to train well. So it kind of instigated a love of, earlier it used to be like, oh my God, you're scared to eat because, oh, I'll get fat. But then you start realizing food is important and you become more conscious of your food choices, which does not mean I don't eat, like, I still eat my desserts. I'm a huge dessert freak. I'm always eating something sweet, but I also eat my veggies, you kind of balance it out. And ever since then, I think my weight never really fluctuates much. It goes up and down by maybe 2 kilos or something like that. It's never been like, oh, I balloon and oh, I shrink. It's never that way. And also, I think more than anything, working out is great for the mind. It's really, really good to push yourself physically, not just stay in your comfort zone. So I have a trainer and I work out at this gym called the Training Lab. And I mean, it's really important for me to have a trainer because I might not push myself otherwise. But it's great for the mind. There are so many times I think keeping at it is the most important thing. There's many days when I wake up and I feel like, I don't want to work out. But then you go to the gym and you get it over with. And at the end of the hour, you actually feel better than when you walked in. So, but having said that, I'm also very, very good at not working out when my body is really, I know when to stop. I think that's very important. People often do too much and they end up injuring themselves. I really think, for example, sleep is more important than a workout. If I haven't slept well, I will never go to the gym. It's very important to take care of your sleep, your hydration, all of those things. And then workout comes after all of that. So that's pretty much the way I look at it. And I'm not really obsessed about it. I mean, there are days when I haven't worked out in like 10 days and I'm just taking evening walks, things like that. So it's no hard and fast rule as such. I had a major panic attack when the idea of a lockdown happened, because like I mentioned, I'm not someone who likes to sit still for long. I'm used to being out of my house pretty much half the month or more. So for someone like me to have to just sit in the house, not go anywhere, it was very suffocating. But then I taught myself how to cook. I set up a little terrace garden and started growing veggies. And then I set up my balcony. I got a lot more plants. And, all these little things really kept me going. And I never used to be a homebody before the lockdown. Now I am. It takes a lot for me to want to step out of my house now. I'm like, hey, let's catch up at home. I just want a quiet night at home. I just have become that person now. I think I really learned to value my space during the lockdown. That's the most important thing. And because you're in your space so much, you really go to great lengths to make it the kind of space you want it to be. Earlier, home was just a place I come back to. Then home became the place I was at, you know. So now, even when I go away on shoots, I really look forward to coming back home because I want to be in my space, and I have the lockdown to thank for that. Thai curry. It's my number one bestseller. A lot of my friends are like, "My God, this Thai curry is better than restaurant curry. What have you like? How do you make it?" But I really love, and I love cooking for my friends and family. It's like I think food is a really nice. It's a language of love, to be honest. You know, I think that's why people say no. Mother's food is the best. It's not because her recipe is better or anything. It's the thought and intention and love that goes into it, I guess. Well, family lunch, big fat family lunch. Because we live in Chennai, there's no snow. There's a lot of Christmassy things that I'm missing in Chennai. But in Chennai specifically, when I think of Christmas, I also think of Kacheri season, for instance. I think of Kacheri Sapade. I like all of that also. And of course, I do all the Christmassy things like putting up my Christmas tree. And now that I have a puppy, I get him his little Santa hat. So that's fun. And of course, like I mentioned, big fat Christmas lunch with the family. I think Christmas is just that time of the year when I don't like working at all during Christmas. I think it's just a time to, slow down and be around family and friends. And also, my birthday happens to come in the same Christmas week. So it's really my time to take off from work and just chill, be with the people I care about. It could be my family in Chennai, it could be my cousins in Australia, it could be it could be my sister in Paris, it could be anywhere in the world. But as long as I'm around, my people, that's important for me. So when we were kids, it has to be my grandmom's house because, when we were kids, we would all from all over the world go to Arakonam, to my grandma's house, and there would be, I mean, unimaginable goodies being churned out there. And they lived in a railway colony. So there used to be this week of Christmas festivities that happened for us kids. And it used to be in this big hall. So every day there would be something. One day would be a sporting event, the other day would be some, you know what I mean, right? The week leading up to Christmas was something fun every day. And it's just the best feeling, to be honest, to just be around your family, doing fun things, eating great food. What more can anyone ask for? Well, my aunt used to do this roast turkey with stuffing and cranberry sauce. That for me is the Christmas standard. And now we don't really do it much anymore because most of the family is, scattered around everywhere. But for me, Christmas is essentially that. My aunt's roast turkey with stuffing and my mom's amazing Christmas cake. She makes the best Christmas cake in the world. And she makes also these rose cookies and things like, typical Christmassy snacks. So that for me is, I guess that's Christmas. Aha. I think this year we've had a rough couple of years, not just this year. We've had a rough couple of years, just stumbling back and trying to get back on our feet. And then we have Omicron around the corner. But I think it's important to still find things that you're grateful for, you know. everybody probably has something to be thankful for. There are lots of people who've lost their loved ones this year, and especially at holidays, you really miss them even more. You really, really wish that they were around. It's hard, it's not easy. Uh, so I hope that for such people, they find the strength to move on, you know, and for the rest of us, just find something to be thankful for and something to look forward to in the new year. I said, apart from Pisasu 2, I'm working on a film which is being produced by director Vetrimaran. A very special, empowering script for me personally. And was supposed to happen before the last March, but got delayed, but now finally got done with it. And a couple of other films which were slated for release pre-lockdown also stuck, will probably make their way out next year, like Ka and Vattam. So it should be an interesting year for me, at least 4 to 5 releases.